afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank the organizers of this Asia CEO Clark 2023 for inviting the Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority. Thank you, Richard, for inviting us. I am truly humbled and honored to be here to share with you what we have in Subic. And the invitation of Richard mentioned that I will be talking about the updates and development in the Subic Bay Freeport Zone. And for me to be able to emphasize that, I also need to go back to our rich history. I know that Karen here and Miss Eileen already mentioned some of the details, but this is going to be very quick. I promise you. Okay, so we already know that the Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority was used to be a naval base for the U.S. It was actually a home for the Americans for 92 years. But there were two events that prompt the creation of the Subic Bay Freeport Zone. The first one is the eruption of Mount Pinatubo in 1991. Imagine the Subic Bay Freeport Zone covered with tons of volcanic ashes. 8,000 volunteers came to Subic to clean the area from the ashes of Mount Pinatubo, and at the same time, safeguarded the assets left by the Americans. And the second event was the pullout of the military U.S. base in 1992. When the RP-US bases agreement expired, the Philippine government decided not to renew the contract and converted the area into a self-sustaining investment center. And today, this is where we are right now. This is what we are today. The Subic Bay Freeport continued to be a catalyst of growth and development in Central Luzon. It has established itself as a strategic outpost for trade and commerce, not only in the area, but in the surrounding community. We now serve as a gateway of investment in these sectors: the manufacturing and maritime, the logistics industry, leisure and tourism, ICT, and the general business. By the way, the Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority is the governing arm of the Philippine government. That's who we are in managing the Freeport. It is our mandate to attract foreign and local investors and to generate employment, not only in the area, but in the surrounding community. I also remember Richard asking how SBMA helped in the job creation and investment opportunities. And I also would like to emphasize this. What happened in the Subic Bay Freeport when there was the COVID-19 pandemic? What happened when we had the lockdown? The agency implemented measures just to be able to have our businesses survive and also to protect our stakeholders. There were measures and innovations such as business teleconferencing. We had isolation facilities, mass testing. We even have virtual job fairs. We even had public biddings online and the concept of bubble events. We hosted sports tournament. We hosted seminars, and all these activities increased and supported local businesses and also sustained investment and employment in our area. And why was this? This is because of our core Filipino value called malasakit. And we all know this, Filipinos, malasakit. For our foreign friends, like Richard, malasakit is the deepest form of caring. Malasakit towards our stakeholders, malasakit towards Subic, which we call home. That even at the height of the pandemic, we were working so hard, 24/7, just to be able to provide support and services to all the industries that were allowed to operate during the lockdown. And who were these? These were the manufacturing companies, these were the export-related industries, the logistics services, and those that were providing essential services. This malasakit, ladies and gentlemen, resulted to these numbers. We were able to approve 63 new investors. contributing about 24.4 million US dollar of investment and an additional 682 workers. And what is even more interesting is this one. 16 of our existing locators decided to expand even with the pandemic, hiring additional 264 workers, adding $3.26 million worth of investment. So Richard, this is just a manifestation that the Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority is doing its job in terms of sustaining employment and providing business opportunity in the country. And then as we transition to the new normal, we even strive to provide faster, friendlier, and flexible service, better online service, better infrastructure, and better security. And then as we gain significant grounds in these priority industries, we continue to attract them. First is the manufacturing and maritime industry, which I had. This one is the source of foreign direct investors in Subic. This is the source of employment in the area. For the last few months, we were able to attract 2 new Taiwanese companies. First is the Sleep Pro Corporation. They are going to engage in the production of mattresses. The other one is Browave Corporation. They're going to manufacture fiber optics. A newly approved Australian company joined us, I think that was 2 months ago. They're going to produce bodies of specialized trucks. And then our Japanese companies are expanding. In December of 2022, the board approved the expansion of Nidec. This is a company that previously manufactured sensors. They have innovated. They are now producing small size reducers gear. And their expansion is to now produce the medium size reducers gear, infusing $4.2 billion peso worth of investment, adding 1,000 workers in the sector. Next one is the renewable energy sector. What we can see from the slide, what happened to my slide? This is supposed to be moving. But anyway, what we can see in the slide is the project of Jobin SQM. This is a local company whose commitment is to install 200 megawatt solar power, and they are already halfway of that commitment. Next one is port development and logistics. The number of investors in this sector continue to rise in Subic, taking advantage of our maritime asset, our deep and natural harbor, the 15 different piers and wharves in our area. This is the only place in the Philippines, if not in the world, that has the capacity to accommodate different types of cargoes like break bulk, petroleum oil lubricant, containerized fertilizer, and even passenger vessels. And then lastly, we have tourism, leisure and tourism like Clark. This is in our area. We continued to be the #1 destination in Central Luzon in 2021, and it has been for more than a decade. We also continue to be in the top 10 tourism destination in the whole country. In the middle of the pandemic, our tourism department was able to accommodate sports tournament. We had the MBPL Basketball League, the Volleyball League. We even had the Clipper Around the World race attended by 200 international athletes coming from, I think, 200 countries. And then last, in our priority industries is shipbuilding and ship repair. After all, we were once one of the largest shipbuilder in the world, but this was until Hanjin operations folded in 2019. Okay, but the government, the SBMA, last year, about April, we were able to successfully seal the deal with the American company Cerberus. They created local subsidiaries, and these are now the Aguila, leasing this 310 industrial estate. The shipyard is now open for business. With the acquisition of the shipyard, This is expected to rebound to provide opportunity in the country by providing employment and investment and economic activity, and also increased security by having the Philippine Navy in the area. I don't have a quote to close my presentation, but what I am going to show you is a short audiovisual presentation for you to be able to know more Subic, both its beauty, its prospects, and opportunities. So let's all watch this.
When one speaks of the Philippines as a strategic entry point into the economies of East Asia, eyes inevitably turn towards Subic Bay, the site of the Philippines' first free port. Since 1992, Subic has become a showcase for economic development, investment promotion, and job generation. An outstanding global model of military base conversion in the world. Subic's remarkable growth raises the question, what accounts for this remarkable success story? First, as a former military base, Subic has a robust infrastructure consisting of wide, heavy-duty roads and well-provisioned industry-grade buildings. As a world-class port, Subic takes pride in its sheltered anchorages. Commercial and cargo vessels, as well as cruise ships and luxury yachts, sail in from all over the world. Just 110 kilometers north of Manila Bay, Subic is well-positioned as an alternative destination for container ships to decongest the Port of Manila. Part of the cargo load is handled by the nearby Subic International Airport. This facility services commercial or chartered aircraft operations and warehousing, aircraft repair and maintenance, and other aviation businesses. This makes Subic the only Philippine free port with both an international airport and an international port. This leads to the second compelling reason to make Subic your next investment destination: superior access. It's also easily accessible by land from Manila or from any other point on the major island of Luzon. The toll highway network to central and northern Luzon has been significantly upgraded and expanded, significantly cutting travel time from Metro Manila to Subic to less than 2 hours. Third, behind all the concrete structural advantages of Subic is a pristine natural paradise. Its well-preserved forest, upland, and coastal resources remain the habitat for a rich diversity of flora and fauna. These have given rise to plush residential condominiums and handsome retirement villages close to world-class hospitals. Most important of all to investors is Subic's ideal business climate. From harmonious factory floors to orderly streets, from superior mobility and connectivity to an energetic talent pool, allowing businesses and industries to grow and flourish. In this investment enclave, you have to deal with only one entity to get things done: the Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority. SBMA places at your disposal a one-stop shop for all your business concerns, visa, and regulatory requirements. Meanwhile, construction and facilities upgrading in Subic proceeds unabated. Improving access to the Freeport, widening vital roads, opening up fresh entry points for tourists and goods, and creating whole new platforms for yet more socio-economic takeoffs. As Subic moves forward to sustain its growth trajectory, fresh opportunities are emerging in 5 investment areas: in maritime manufacturing, logistics, leisure and tourism, information and communications technology, and institutional development. Manufacturing enterprises in Subic roll out an amazing diversity of products, from factories engaged in light, medium, and heavy industries. At the Redondo Peninsula, manufacturing scales up to a whole new level. In recent years, Subic has thrust the Philippines into the ranks of the world's largest shipbuilders. In the next decade, the other side of the Redondo Peninsula will be developed as a 3,000-hectare expansion area of the Subic Freeport Zone, ushering in new business opportunities in industrial park development, shipbuilding and repair, renewable energy initiatives, manufacturing, and logistics and storage operations. To facilitate access to this new phase of Subic's development, a 9-kilometer bridge will directly connect the Redondo Peninsula to the main Freeport area. The bridge will be designed so as not to impede the entry of large vessels into the harbor. These include international cruise ships, which have chosen Subic as a new, secure, and fun destination in Asia. Logistics investors will get a big boost with the SBMA's ongoing massive upgrade of Subic's entire harbor front. These include expansion of the new container terminal, the Naval Supply Depot compound, and bulk cargo port facilities, as well as the rehabilitation of the ship repair facility. These priority projects assure dramatic growth in port operations, warehousing, airport operations, and transshipment. Already, investments are on stream toward developing the airport into a world-class business aviation center in Asia. This major airport upgrade will also be a boon to the next major investment area, leisure and tourism. To augment the current prime tourism zones, plans are underway to reclaim 50 hectares across the waterfront area for an integrated business, leisure, and commercial center. Another new tourism initiative involves the development of the San Antonio area on the western edge of Subic. The 9,000-hectare project is envisioned as a Mediterranean-inspired community. These developments highlight the effort to attract investors keen on hotel resort construction and management, housing development, retirement communities, golf course development, gaming and leisure initiatives, ecotourism, and medical tourism. New investments in leisure and tourism are starting to change the landscape. In progress is the major development of the Subic Bay Golf Course into a world-class, all-weather facility and retirement community. Elsewhere, a massive luxury condominium and hotel complex is on the rise. Just as another world-class hotel and resort facility will soon emerge in the waterfront area. No less important are the massive investments in the field of information and communications technology, particularly call center and BPO operations. Attracted by a deep pool of young talent, all tech-savvy, English-speaking, highly motivated, and trainable, many foreign ICT-driven companies have been setting up shop in Subic. To help guarantee the continuing supply of well-educated, highly trained talent for the diverse enterprises in Subic, and to respond to the rising clamor for top-notch education outside the densely populated urban areas, SBMA has carved out a specific zone for institutional investments. And the Subic vision continues to grow far and wide. SBMA is expanding the Freeport Zone even further. In cooperation with adjacent local government units in Zambales and Bataan. As the expanding contours of Subic Bay Freeport begin to emerge, so too does the outlook for the rising tiger economy of the Philippines. With every new structure, with every new enterprise, with every close encounter with Subic's people and environment, the strong and vibrant spirit of Subic lives on, ushering in an unprecedented era of hope and prosperity for all.
Entice everyone to please come and visit Subic not only for business but for leisure and tourism. Thank you very much.